What's up, everyone? My name is Ethan Sheehan. I am a National Master at chess, and today I'm going to be solving some puzzles and explaining my thought process. So, pawn takes c7, there are really only two moves. Queen takes c7 is the correct one, and now it's tempting just to take the bishop, but white does have queen d5 check. I'll show you all my calculations. So, now knight takes, maybe not knight takes actually, take with the queen. Queen takes c1, rook takes c1, rook takes c1, and then knight e1. I don't think I have anything. The correct move could possibly be bishop to b7, preventing queen b5, queen d5 check. Plus, there is still the skewer. Only concern would be the move bishop f4. Take that back. There's a third move I didn't look at. Pawn to d6. I like this move because it attacks the rook, and I'm not going to lose a bishop if I take it. And the rook can't really move because I take the other rook. I'm just going to play d6. Alright. That turned out to be correct. Okay. Not gonna lie, this position is pretty dull. If this wasn't in the tactics puzzle, I wouldn't assume there's a tactic here. Some important features of this position are the queen is offside, the f2 pawn is currently undefended, and our queen is fairly active. I like the move rook b8. Then I think rook e3 is a possible move. And of course, if I go rook b1, rook e1, rook takes, queen takes, it's just a draw. So that can't be right. I still not gonna abandon it though. Rook b8, rook e3, rook b2, queen e1, and I don't see an attack. Queen e2 is another possible move. Queen d2, king g2, and I think rook c6, queen b4, rook f6. White still can't move the rook in a way that would defend the f2 pawn because the queen would hang, so I think I'm just going to play queen d2 as my final move. Alright. King g2. An important thing in both solving puzzles and during a game is never rush. Because if you rush, you're going to miss things. I've made that mistake more times than I would like to admit. Alright, rook c6 is still right, and just checking for any last defensive moves. Nope, we are just winning. Alright, rook takes c4 is really the only move here. And now, possible candidates are f5 and king e4. f5, there's king d5, but if king e4, there's going to be d5 check. And I think black's pawn is going to be faster. So f5, king d5, pawn to a4. There's the really annoying move b5. And if we take, there's a4. Hope y'all are following. There's also a move I didn't look at, which is g4. g4, d5, g5, d4, g6, d3, g7, d2. And the great news is we promote with check. I really think g4 is the right move. King d5 is still the best defense, though. I think that's winning for... Wait, though. Let's just... Okay, g4 is wrong. Oh, it is f5. Now we... Oh, okay. I'm not really understanding why. Could it be king f4? Yeah, I'm just gonna look at this. I thought... Okay. This is where I went wrong. The past B pawn is further advanced. My bad, y'all. King f2. Alright, as we can see, there's a pretty advanced e pawn. Of course, do not take this pawn because rook h1 would be checkmate for them. This might just involve an exchange into a winning rook endgame. Rook takes c3 and rook f8 are both moves that are worth considering. Okay, rook takes a3. The only thing I'm worried about is something like g5, check, king takes d5, rook g4, but king f6, I'm still fine. Maybe after rook takes c3, rook h5 is a threat. Although, I think you actually can take the h3 pawn now, or even go g5 if you're really worried. But still, the correct move in these puzzles is usually a check, so I'm just gonna play rook f8. And it is wrong. Rook takes c2 is right. Another mistake you can make in games is doubting yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You're a strong player. I'm saying this to everyone watching this. Trust your calculations. Okay, here we can see that both sides have pretty advanced pawns. Black has no way to stop ours, and we don't have a way to stop theirs, but an important thing to note is that even though black is going to queen first, we will queen with check and skewer. So the important thing to do now is find the right square. King c4 does not work because of rook c3 check, blocking it, or even rook b4, rook b3, and you just repeat. So it's not, I don't think it's king e2 because of rook b2 check. Although, it's possible that even if we can't win the queen, there's mate somewhere. The move I really like is king c2. Now rook b2 check fails because you just take it, and after rook c3, there's king b2 defending, but can black make an... Of course, after king c2, black could make a knight, but then after king c1, they're still not stopping our pawn. Or are they? Or, no, they're not. But, like I said before in this video, do not rush. So I will heed my own advice and wait a little. King e2, rook b2, king f3, a1 queen, h8 queen, alright, king d5. Maybe there's some queen g8 check here, king c6. Not gonna lie, having a physical board helps. Sorry if y'all can't understand what I'm calculating. Yeah, I really think it's just king c2. And I said trust yourself. And outside it was king c2. And now do not take it because there is black prince with check and suddenly we're the ones who are losing. So I'm just gonna go king b2 unless there's a trap behind it that I'm not seeing. Wait, there is a trap. Don't go king b2. King b2, a1 queen, king takes a1, rook c1, rook h1 check. I missed that when I was first calculating. This is why you don't rush. So now we know king d2 is the only move. And promote to a queen and you're winning. Alright, this is a rook versus two pawns. I do not like endgame tactics because they require so much precision. Okay, g6 obviously fails to rook h1 check, then take, and it's a draw, maybe we're even losing. h7 fails for the same reason, rook h1 check, so we now know that the correct move has to be a king move. I will say a common technique in endgames is called shouldering, where you basically cut the other king off. King g4, king d5, and then you go king f5. That is an example of shouldering because the king cannot move to the e file. Anyway, let's just go king g4. Okay, why is that? It's king h2. Wow. Oh, okay. So, the reason I got this wrong is because I thought the king had to help out. But the problem is the pawns are already so far advanced that it's important not to let the rook get behind the pawns. So now h7, rook takes d5, and h8 equals queen. This is a theoretical win, but it is very hard in practice. Alright, a middle game tactic. The queen takes d7 looks really tempting, but black can just take it and we are just at lost, so that is not the right move. So bishop e7, there's f6 and black defends. So now the moves you need to look at are bishop h6 and bishop f6. I like bishop f6 because black cannot play f6 themselves, but the problem is the queen isn't but we're not threatening anything after g6. So this is definitely going to require some thought. But after bishop f6, g6, we could just take the knight, and we are in fact threatening rook takes g6. Queen e6, rook takes g. You can do rook takes g6 anyway, but after king h7, rook g7, king h8, there's rook takes f7. So now I'm gonna look at bishop h6. Of course, f6 seems to be the best defense. Then I think you just take. Maybe bishop h6 is, there's even queen e5. And queen takes c4, queen c5 check, so I'll just go bishop f6. Alright, it was, as y'all can see, it was correct. So now, if I could just magically teleport my queen to h6, that'd be great, but it requires 2 moves. And queen c1, there's queen c6, and I don't think I have anything, so I'm gonna take one last look, and I'll just take the knight. That turned out to be right. So I suggested queen e6, but king h7 is a better defense. And now I really like h5 because it opens up files. Notice how the h pawn is actually hindering checkmate, because if it wasn't there, rook h1, rook h8. So I'll just play h5. Alright, that was correct. I guess they stopped the puzzle not when it's clear that white is, or the winning side is winning, but when there's more than one correct move. As you can see, e5 and queen d3 are both right, and they can only say one move is right, so that's why. King 4, king takes h3. Okay, f6 is the first move that comes to my mind, but then there's knight c4, king d5, knight b6 actually. No, knight b6, king e6. But another move to look at is king d4. This will require some calculation. King d4, knight a4, f6, knight b6, my knight b6, f7, knight d7, and the knight defends in time, and we might actually be losing. So I am going to play f6. f6, knight c4. Do not go f7 because there is knight d6 check, and you lose the game. Preventing knight d6 seems like a priority, so king d5 seems right, but king f5, knight d6 check, king e6. There's the nice trick knight e4, f7, knight g5 check, and we lose. So I'm going to play king d5. And okay, king e6 seems like the move everyone would play, but there's knight g2, f7, knight f4, knight g6 blockading. So I don't think that's right. After king e4, knight c4 repeats, and repetitions are never happen. with these types of tactics. So I'm gonna have to look at other stuff. After king d, the correct answer could be king d6, could be king c6. No, king c6 is wrong because knight takes g4 and knight e5 checks. So there's also king c5. General tip in king and pawn and king plus pawn versus knight is to keep the king this diagonal away from the knight, but unfortunately there's the nice knight takes g4, f7, knight e5. So I'm gonna have to approach this like a multiple choice problem. The only move that we haven't eliminated is king d6, and that turned out to be the correct answer. Sorry if I didn't cover king d4, but then there's knight g2, f7, knight f4. If we queen, there's knight e6 check. So, yeah. Okay, materially black is better, but there's the g7 square, which is exposed, and the queen on d5 may actually be a target. Queen c5, sorry, could be a target, but I don't think that's super plausible right now, at least. First move that comes to my mind is, in fact, queen g4, threatening mate on g7, and knight takes h6. After queen g4, queen takes c3 seems to be the best defense. And there's knight h6, king h7. Okay, the really annoying thing is we can't move the knight back because there's knight f2, or takes f2, queen takes a1. So that is in fact annoying, but for lack of a better move, I'm gonna have to go with queen g4. Queen h5, queen h5 doesn't threaten anything. Queen takes c3 maybe. Then queen h5 might actually be a decent move. But there's the question, what do I do if black just goes d6? Maybe there's knight takes h6 somewhere. So maybe black has to go d5. Anyway, I don't think the first move is as simple as I thought. Oh, there's the simple king h8, and basically all my ideas go away. So I have to go queen g4, and that is in fact the correct move. Just so I know, rook a1 fails to knight f2 check as well. So we need to either create a stronger threat or address the knight f2 check threat. There's also the danger of black just going queen f6 and consolidating, so we need to watch out for that as well. I think it's just knight takes h6 check. And as I mentioned before, knight f5 does not work due to knight f2. So it's too late to just, or is it? Too late, I was gonna say it's too late to just stop knight f2 check without doing anything else, but rook ad1 doesn't lose on the spot. Although after d6 knight 5, queen f6, showing on a pawn, what do we have to show for it? Could be queen f5 check, although even then there's nothing concrete. Or is it queen h5 first? I didn't really think about that, but there's you win the piece back and the king is exposed, but again, nothing concrete. That's what's hard about the middle game puzzles. Oh, also after queen f5, king takes h6, queen takes e4, I think just d6 and g6 black can consolidate and they're fine. So for lack of a better move, I'm probably going to play queen h5, but I do think that I shouldn't play it just yet. Okay, it's not queen h5. Oh, okay. Why can't black just take it though? Okay. As y'all can see, I didn't see anything concrete, but there's queen e7. That's what prevents black from consolidating. But it was learning experience. Okay, as you can see, we are down in exchange, but the d6 pawn is passed, and black's pieces aren't super coordinated. So that gives us some chances. I think the best move has to be to just exchange because it draws the king out. Okay, now I really like knight g5. I like knight g5 check here. But y'all know the rule, don't play a move until you're sure it's correct. Okay, I'm looking at knight e5 too. But after king e, I don't see anything. And of course, if we do nothing, black's just gonna take the pawn and we're just losing, so I'll just play knight g5. Because I'm sure it's correct. Alright. Okay, this is where the move gets less obvious. d7, black can't take immediately because of queen b8 check, but why can't black just, but black could just move the queen here. Oh, there's there's possibly queen d3, because black can't take with the queen because of queen takes h7, but why can't black just take with the rook? That is a question that needs answering. g7, queen c6, queen d3. I think just g6, so I know I said endgame tactics are hard, but for middle game tactics, there are more candidate moves or moves you have to consider. So that's the flip side of middle game tactics. Okay, I don't know if I suggested this, but queen f3 looks like a move. This seems like the worst case scenario after queen... Wait, I think queen f3 is right. I thought I only have knight f7, but queen f7 check, king h8, queen h5, and if black tries to go queen g6, which I think is the best defense, you take, h takes. The king's on h8, by the way. I should have clarified that. Oh, sorry, my arrows are acting up. You can go knight f7 check, winning the rook. This is why you never stop calculating. You might see a resource that surprises you. And as you can see, queen d3, the move I wanted to play, is the second best move. Well, anything else just loses. So, yep, let's proceed. Okay, here white is up a piece, but at the very least, knight e2 check gets it back. And here, just so you know, f3 is actually just a blunder. If white does anything else, let's just say queen d1, they're just up a piece. So, yeah, that'll offer my thoughts on that. I think this tactic is going to have something to do with the g3 square. Notice how both the pawns on h3 and f3. So, that's one possible motif. I really think it's knight e2. I thought about knight f5, but you can even just take the pawn on e4, and I don't. With the knight, not the bishop. And white should be winning. So I'm just going to go ahead and play knight e2 because e3 doesn't really work. As you can see, that is the right move. Just, king f2 fails to e3, king takes e2, queen takes d2, checkmate. Now, if white, couldn't take the knight after knight g3, the queen would just be trapped. But unfortunately, after king takes g3, there's no way to exploit the exposed king. I want to play queen takes d2 here, but f takes e4 is a serious defense, both preventing queen f4 check and actually threatening queen takes f7 check. So f takes e4 though, is that there might be knight f4. Okay, I'll show you all my calculations. Queen f3, queen takes b2, queen takes f4, and now I was gonna say bishop takes h3, but then there's rook a2. So we'll try to find other moves. As you'll know, in the last puzzle, I found a surprise resource. Or maybe this shouldn't have been so surprising. Knight f4 seems to just drop the queen. After knight f4, bishop f6 actually seems to be the best defense. Knight f4, bishop f6, queen takes. But yeah, knight takes e4, you can even just take and you're winning a piece. So, I'll just go ahead and play it. As we can see, that was right. I cannot believe I spent that long calculating queen takes d2 when knight f4 is just right in front of me. And that's solved. Alright, this will be my last one. As we can see here, opposite sides castling. Black king is on the king side, white king is on the queen side. And the first thing that draws my attention is the c3 square is pretty weak. In fact, we would be winning a queen if white's own queen wasn't defending it. So I thought about, I'm still thinking about it, but after knight f4, bishop takes e4 seems pretty strong. So the other move I'm considering is knight c3, pawn takes, and then knight a4. Of course, bishop d2, does defend it, but after b takes c3, black's attack looks pretty strong, but the attack looks pretty strong isn't enough justification to sacrifice a knight. But then again, if knight c3 isn't the correct answer, what is? Knight a4, bishop takes e4. Knight a4 problem is that is too slow. I'm just gonna wait and then play knight c3. Alright, as we can see, knight c3 is in fact the correct answer. So now there's also pawn takes c3. I don't think it's right because of knight b3 and bishop c1, but I could be missing something. Knight c4 I think fails for the same reason. Okay, I didn't look at this before, but it might be right. Queen a3. So king a1, of course, fails to queen takes c3. Yeah, queen takes. King b1 and knight a4, knight d3, queen a3. So the queen a3, pawn takes b4, knight a4 looks pretty strong. I'm gonna have to go with queen a3. Oh, alright. As we can see, they already gave me credit. Also, I was wrong about queen takes c3. Knight a4 is way simpler. Anyway, y'all. Bye. I hope you all enjoyed this video.